the schedule, but on the way out, he spotted something on the security feed. His backyard was on fire. Everyone else looks at the road while driving, but he's staring at the birds in the sky. Next second, the wolf backs up just one car length, but the truck driver blows up and starts cursing like crazy. The wolf doesn't want trouble, so he smiles and gets out of the car. He wasn't planning to kill anyone today, but the driver just kept going, every word nastier than the last. Just then, a cop car rolls up. The wolf figures he should pay up and leave, avoid more drama, but the driver won't let it go. Now the cops get involved. They tell the wolf to step away from the car and get ready to check his bag. The wolf slowly slips his hands into his pockets. The cop opens the bag, finds a gun and a pile of cash. His face tightens. He looks up, but before he can react, gunshots. In less than 5 seconds, it's over. Clean. Quick. No hesitation. The wolf puts one gun in the driver's hand, the other in the cop's, makes it look like they shot each other. Then he drives to the next stop and rips off the license plate. He sprays special chemicals on the doors and the steering wheel, wipes everything clean. After dealing with the mess, he calls his wife, says he misses her. She shows up at the hotel fast, slaps him in the face the moment she walks in. After letting out her anger, she demands the truth.
What is the truth? What do you do, Jules?
But the wolf lies. He doesn't say he's a killer. He says he's a corporate spy, solves tough problems for rich clients, for big money. She asks, does that mean killing people? He denies it, says sometimes he bends the law, like using fake IDs, maybe bribing someone. She tells him it's too dangerous. He says this is the last job, and he's done. That part, he's not lying, because the client's offering $50 million to take out EDC. After this hit, he'll really retire. He tells his brother to reset the safe house, like nothing ever happened. But taking out EDC won't be easy. Even when the guy's swimming, armed guards are everywhere. When EDC comes out of the water, the head of security tells him, a killer's been hired. They plan to strike at the concert hall event, but EDC doesn't care. He insists on showing up in public. That's the wolf's only shot. He scouts the concert hall early. Security is airtight. Smuggling a gun inside? Almost impossible. Then he notices a blonde security guard. She's friendly, smiles naturally. So he lines up at her checkpoint, even leaves his wallet in his pocket, just to get her to remember him. Everyone else is enjoying the music. Only the wolf is scanning the room. He spots it. A blind spot right above the stage. Perfect for a sniper shot. $50 million. All depends on that one bullet. Now the only problem? How to get the gun inside. The hitman accidentally noticed a woman wearing protective boots. He had an idea. What if he disguised the gun as a boot? That way he could sneak it into the event without raising suspicion. So he went straight to a gun-making genius named Norman. Norman saw the boot design and was genuinely impressed. But there was a big problem. Even disguised, a gun still needed metal parts. And metal parts would definitely trigger scanners. But Norman had a solution. The hitman was extremely cautious. He saw Norman's hand was injured and immediately sensed something was off. He knew Norman was hiding something from him. Norman realized the hitman wasn't joking. He could feel the danger, so he came clean. He had been hunted down in Belarus. The hitman instantly figured it out. MI6 must have been behind it, but his right hand was injured, so he could only guide the hitman by voice to 3D print the weapon. It was their first time working together, but their teamwork was perfect. After several days of printing, a sniper rifle shaped like a slim arrow was finally complete. The next day, the hitman began testing the gun. He hung a watermelon 500 meters away, then tied the sniper to a tree and aimed. He pulled the trigger, but the first shot landed low and to the left, so he made some adjustments, then fired again. Just then, MI6 captured Norman's brother. They got the location of Norman's hideout. The hitman didn't want to kill him, but in the end, he pulled the trigger anyway. To him, anyone who threatened his interests had to die. After killing Norman, he got into a shootout with MI6, then used his knowledge of the terrain to run toward a hidden stream. He dove in. This was the escape route he had planned all along. He woke up and realized he was hanging in midair. Turns out the farmer thought he was a thief and tied him up. But the worst part, they couldn't understand each other at all. He tried to buy his way out with cash, but the farmer didn't get it and dragged him home anyway. On the way, the farmer spotted his hidden sniper rifle. Back home, the farmer called his cousin for help. His cousin knew a young guy who spoke English and could translate. Matt quickly said he had tons of money in his account, and they could take it all. The cousin and translator rushed to the farm, but suddenly the road was packed with cops. The cops asked if they'd seen anyone suspicious. The cousin said no, but he couldn't hide his smirk. Meanwhile, the farmer was eating bread and tried to feed some to Matt. Matt looked completely disgusted. The farmer shoved the bread right into his face. But just then, Matt snapped, grabbed his gun and took the farmer's rifle. He calmly walked past the farmer's body. Matt was about to leave, but the cousin showed up. He hid fast and watched them through the rearview mirror. Once they went inside, Matt started the car. Suddenly, yelling erupted. The cousin ran out and fired a shot. Matt tried to drive off but crashed straight into a tree. The man opened the door. Matt was gone. As he searched, Matt slid out from under the car and killed him. The translator freaked out, dropped his gun, and surrendered. He could tell, Matt was no ordinary guy. Matt needed a driver, so he held him at gunpoint. With the driver's help, Matt made it into the city. Normally, Matt would kill him to cover his tracks, but when he saw his wife and kid's photo, he hesitated. It reminded him of his own wife. He spared him for the first time. Still, he warned the guy. He knew where his family lived. If anything went wrong, his men would kill them in front of him. The guy panicked and swore he'd keep quiet. Just as he caught his breath, Matt had vanished. Matt called his wife for backup. He'd lost his gear. She was his only option. He dropped an email address and handed the phone to a random stranger. Once he got the email, he sent her the hotel info. That's how he pulled off the handoff without being tracked. She brought him a lifelike face mask. Matt reshaped his face and turned into an old man. He faked a leg injury, but hid a foldable sniper rifle in the cast. With her help, he breezed through security. They split. She flew to Spain. Matt headed to Talon. His target this time, Elon Musk. But once aboard, the flight was delayed. He asked around. Some cops had just boarded last minute. He looked up. It was the black agent and her partner. They were headed to Talon too. That meant his mission was blown. This job was about to get deadly. The top assassin just needs to kill this billionaire. Then he gets $100 million in cash. But this job is nearly impossible. The target lives on a private island with military-grade security, and the 2-mile zone around the island is guarded by elite protection teams. Even farmers delivering food to the island have to go through full-body searches every single time. Plus, drones patrol the sky 24/7. Getting close to this place is a nightmare. But this isn't just any assassin. Wolf didn't back down. He started tracking the island in secret. He noticed the billionaire had a habit, swimming in the ocean every day. Wolf decided to take the shot from 4 kilometers offshore. He rented a fishing boat to stay undercover. Once he reached the spot, he pulled a knife and slit the captain's throat. But sniping from the sea is way harder than shooting on land. Just as he locked onto the target, a jet ski came speeding straight toward him. He had no choice. He took out the guy first. Now he had only 2 bullets left. Time was ticking. Just then, the yacht's radar started beeping. A drone was flying right toward him. Good thing Wolf brought a signal jammer. He knocked the drone out of the sky. But now his location was exposed. The security team scrambled into action. Yet Wolf stayed completely calm. The head of security ordered the bodyguard to push the billionaire underwater. But the billionaire had no idea what was going on. Wolf started counting down. He knew they couldn't hold their breath long without oxygen tanks. The billionaire suddenly fought back and broke free from the bodyguard. Wolf didn't hesitate. He took the shot and hit the bodyguard in the head. The billionaire panicked. He lost it completely. Wolf had just 1 bullet left. If he missed, it was game over. The security lead shouted from shore, telling the billionaire to dive, but it was too late. Wolf's scope already had him locked in. The guy slipped under the surface, but Wolf's high-powered scope could still track him underwater. The billionaire was freaking out, swimming blindly in all directions. He had no clue where to go, and when Wolf showed that look on his face, it meant one thing. It was over. The scope turned green. He fired his last round without hesitation. The bullet flew for about 8 seconds, and then Wolf got the kill. The top killer took out the richest man with a single shot from 4 kilometers away. Now he has to get out of Croatia before the borders are locked down. But just then, a helicopter locked onto his car and started tailing him. Even worse, cops were already checking cars up ahead. He tried to back up, but the car behind blocked him. At that moment, the cops also noticed his vehicle. He had no choice but to ram through. Soon, the police started chasing. But this town was like his backyard. He weaved through alleys like a ghost. In a tight corner, he scraped off the side mirror and slipped through. The police car got stuck right there. Then a motorcycle cop showed up. But one sharp turn from him, and the bike skidded out from the curve. Suddenly, another trap. Cops laid down spike strips on the road. He hit the brakes, spun the car, and turned around. The police behind couldn't dodge in time and ran straight over the spikes. The tires blew out, and he drove off while they watched, helpless. After UDC was taken out, his girlfriend went live on TV. She announced the Freedom launch was delayed, indefinitely. The old man who hired the killer was thrilled to hear it. Yup, another mission completed, with no final payment. At that moment, the killer was still gunning it toward the border. A while later, he made it back to Spain. He didn't go home right away. He headed to an internet cafe, because the client still owed him $80 million. He asked when the payment would come. The client said it was being arranged, but he didn't want excuses. He told them to pay within 24 hours. When he got home, his wife and kid were gone. At first, he thought someone had kidnapped them. Just then, he got a call from his wife, and he realized his dream of retiring was over. He walked into the hidden room. Cash was scattered all over the floor. He opened a drawer. The passports and money were still there. He knew she had taken the kid and left. Turns out, she left just an hour before he got back. She was scared the killer's life would put them in danger. Meanwhile, agents had already broken into his house, but his brother-in-law heard a noise and went to check. The killer heard the gunshots and knew someone was inside. He cut the power instantly. The agents realized he was fully aware. He locked the hidden room door. Not long after, the female agent came upstairs. He could see her clearly, but she couldn't see anything behind that door. And this was the most intense moment in the film. The killer watched her just inches away, through the wall. If she had walked away right then, he might have let her live. But no, she just had to force a fight. If her partner hadn't jumped in, she would have been dead already. She lost it and started firing wildly upstairs, but she was in the open. He was in the dark. It would have been too easy for him to take her out. Turns out, she had already found out his real name. She was Dugan, a top military sniper from 10 years ago. Now she had to die. Meanwhile, his wife and kid had reached the airport. He was speeding there like crazy, calling non-stop, but she never picked up. He was starting to lose it.